Hello, true believers. What we have here is how I prepare heroes foot for football training or football games, or not so much for running, but for football. For running, it just puts on socks and runs, and he gets no problems, gets no blisters. But when he plays football, especially when he does scrimmage, when he trains for a long time, he'll start developing blisters. And you've seen the spots where he gets blisters is especially here where the balls of the feet or the sesamoids are. So what I have here is I have it taped up, and over here in football they use their big toe a lot, where they do like a toe poke. So what I have here is like this foam tape over his big toe, and he'll get blisters over here also. You've probably seen videos where he'll get blisters here and he'll get blisters here. So I put tape over there, and then he'll develop blister here. But whenever he's wearing his football boots, he always gets a blister in the back of the heel. Something about the heel counter always rubs his foot the wrong way. Maybe his anatomy, maybe it's the shoe, but he always gets blisters over here. And if he trains for a long time, he'll start developing them. And normally you just stop and change your shoes or not wear your shoes, but we don't want to do that. So I have it taped up over here. So if you look, there's two layers here. There's the foam tape over here, and this Leukoplast tape, like that. And we've done a pretty good job keeping the blisters off. So if you look at his other foot, so it's fine. And then also his callus, usually he'll get it here by keeping it taped up. And his toes, his feet look very good, as you can see. He's always had good anatomy for when it comes to his feet. They're just big. They're like, look at that, look how huge they are. They're size 12. So I want to get to what kind of tape we use. So the kind of tape that we use over here is we have two kinds, the Leukoplast and this foam tape. So you can take a look at, this is what we use over here. The boss orders this at Shopee. So it's called Leukoplast, and it's really good at sticking to skin. I'm not sure. I've been out of sports medicine for so long now that I don't know if this is the same one that they use to tape up people's shoulders and knees and come in different colors. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's not. But this is what we use because it's really good to sticking to the skin, even though if it's really sweaty. So these things are like about a little bit over $2. So a whole box over here. So there's 10 inside a box of Leukoplast that we ordered from Shopee. So I think the lowest is about $2. So if you get 10, so that's about $20 over here. So that's $20 worth of. So we go through this probably every 4 to 5 months, maybe, depending on how much we train. So every time, so to keep Hero comfortable, this is what we use. So we got a new box over here. So we order these every probably 4 to 5 months. Probably stretch it to 6 months, but always say comfort is more important. And you got to be comfortable to play good. You got to feel good. And then over here we've got the foam tape. So here's a bunch of foam tape over here. So these are cheaper though. They're not that expensive. They're, I think, 20-30 cents each. So they're 20 cents each, 30 cents each. So we got $3 worth of foam tape over here. So they don't stick to the skin as good as Leukoplast tape. So I usually support it with some Leukoplast tape. And then for the finishing touch, you gotta, because this stuff is sticky and you want to stick to the skin, and you don't want to have it stick to the stock. What causes blisters is the shearing forces. And if this is sticking to the sock or something else instead of the skin, so what you want to do is for the finishing touch, you want to put some wax on it. So just rub this on there so it doesn't rub up, so it doesn't stick to the sock or the, so it will just glide instead of shear. So and it'll stick to the skin versus the sock, 'cause sometimes the sticky material there's some sticky material on it from the way it wraps around each other. Some of it is stuck outside, and you don't want that. You don't want this sticking to the sock and then coming off. So what you want to do is get a nice layer of wax on there as your finishing touch, so it stays on properly. So after that, as you can see, we got enough wax on it. Make sure you're generous with the wax, because like I said, you don't want it sticking. You don't want the sticky that's left on the tape outside to stick to the sock. Then it's gonna come off the skin, and it's gonna cause problems, and it's gonna be a problem on its own. So you don't want to do that. So this is probably the important key over here, is putting wax on it, so instead of just shearing forces, it'll just glide and you won't have any problems. And he's, as you can see from his feet, ever since we started doing this, he's got no problem. Before, we didn't do it that much because I think he's gonna be fine, but then when he first started playing a scrimmage, he developed these huge blisters, and he always gets these blisters, especially in the back with most of his football boots, especially the Adidas, especially if it has a collar. So that's what you want to use. So you want to use the Leukoplast and just tape it up on there on the skin, and then finish it off with, this is like a tea leaf candle kind of thing that I just took off the wick and took it off its case and just kind of rub it on there like so, like that. And then what you want to do is put the sock over it. He usually wears 2 pairs of socks. I recommend 2 pairs of socks for more cushion. And as you can see, it's, let me see, shows the foot. Even with the scrimmages that we'll be doing, let me look at the bottom. The other way. The calluses have been under control. I mean, he's been playing scrimmage, and with any shoe type, you do that, and he's got no. Usually, he'll develop a big heavy callus over here, but as you can see, it's kept under control. Same thing over here, even with the scrimmaging that he's been doing. Okay, so that's the update. So that's how you prevent blisters. So you use this Leukoplast tape in combination with the foam padding. It's not for everybody, but if you're having the same problems, try it and it might work for you. And don't forget the candle wax as your finishing touch. Anyways, this is Bev. Thanks for watching.